Jones. I'm the Executive Director of Waste Loop, and I'm here today with Dan at Yodelin to talk about sustainability in restaurants in Leavenworth.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Dan Fisk. I'm one of the co-owners of Yodelin Broth Company, and I'd like to thank Ariana for having me here. And we can basically talk about what we do as a company and a restaurant to sort of do the best we can with sustainability, which is always a challenge and always forever evolving. A couple things that come to light, and what we try to do is basically minimize the overall use of plastic, single-use plastic especially. We have zero saran wrap in our restaurant. We have zero Ziploc bags. Second thing, purchasing food locally to the farmers, to the fishermen, to people that have the cattle farms. Keeps the money here. Again, food's not traveling as far, and whether it's sustainable or not, it definitely makes you feel better, and you get to know the people, and it's just a much more enjoyable way of doing business. You know where it's coming from. It's other hardworking people who appreciate food. And that to us is the easiest and best way to be sustainable as possible.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for local businesses, considering the amount of local farmers that we have in the area and making those connections. So it sounds like reducing waste overall, especially plastic, and then being able to source locally are two of the top things. But one thing everyone comes to Yodelin for is the broth. So how is the broth kind of an example of sustainability within your restaurant?
Yeah, it's funny. We, everywhere I've ever lived, but especially on the West Coast, the majority of people love seafood. And one thing we don't think about when it comes to go to the grocery store and see this beautiful fillet of salmon, wild king salmon, and literally that's only about 45% of the fish. If you're a really good butcher, maybe 50%. But majority of those products go to either the dump, they get chummed for other fish. The best case scenario is they turn into dog food or compost. But again, you're taking this animal and it has so much to offer. We take the cows and we take the chickens and we use every single part of them. But when it comes to the fish, it's just kind of crazy of how much that we don't realize what we're actually wasting. And again, it's extremely healthy for you. So just part of life's path. Long time ago, many lives ago, I was in Fiji as a chef working on this island, and one thing that I found most amazing was that they would take the whole entire fish and basically make a very simple fish soup. And it was fish bones, water, lemon juice, tomato, maybe some lemongrass, and salt. Still really, really good, but very, very simple. And that's sort of like the first time I was basically introduced to using the whole entire fish, because that's what they have. They're on an island. They eat the whole entire thing. And then just throughout time, it's just been something that always stuck with me. And as a chef, in the restaurant world, you bring in a whole fish, and really what you're doing is you're taking that fillet and dumping it into the trash, because you just couldn't make enough fish stock to use to actually utilize all the bones that you were getting. Here we get to buy the bones and make soup, and they're bone broths. It's actually better for you and more healthy for you than fish, chicken bones and beef bones, and it's really simple. And sort of everybody thinks, ooh, stinky fish, and that's what happens with everybody's thought with, as soon as you take the fillet off, it's a stinky fish head. And I'll show you here in a little bit that they're not stinky, and they actually make really good, flavorful soup.
So you've been able to save money by reducing your waste in some instances and being able to just use as much of the resource as possible. But how has the effects of COVID shutdowns and restrictions, how has that affected business? What has that been like for you?
Right now, it is literally let's make it to June, and you're not trying to break any records. You're just trying to manage it. Keep the ship cruising. We've had 2 shutdowns. The amount of food that you have inside your restaurant is huge, especially produce. I mean, this stuff all has to go in a day or two of being brought in, especially if it's already been processed and it's ready to be basically put on your salad, or literally those things unfortunately go to waste. I'd say the second challenge is that it's every single day occurrences. To-go business was 5 to 10%. Now our to-go business is some days 50% of our business. So take every single dish that you send out there, it's another 50 cents off of the profit margin. Those are restaurant COVID challenges.
Yeah, that's a lot of challenges. But it seems like you're able to still find some balance in sustainability, which is pretty inspiring. Even the small things I've noticed when I pick up a to-go here, that you have to ask for utensils, for instance. Is there anything else that you've done to, even the small things, to try and keep the waste reduction and sustainability at the forefront during these restrictions?
Yeah, I mean, again, like, it's a cost thing, which is huge. It's also taking a cardboard box that our food comes in, and it saves. It's funny, but 25 cents is a bag. Plus every container is 50 cents. So you just try to think of ways of trying to not see as much money be taken off of every plate.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's a win-win when you're looking at kind of the economic standpoint of, when you reduce waste, you're also saving money. But even though it's challenging during these COVID restrictions, you're still making steps, which is inspiring.
Yeah, and it's just what you have to do.
Yeah.
Spot prawns, which are highly coveted in the Northwest. Very expensive product. Usually runs, if you're buying a spot prawn fresh, it's $20 a pound minimum, and that's for me. So when you're buying it at a store, it's probably closer to 25 to 30 pounds, $1 a pound. But you're only using half the animal again, and you have the other half of the animal, and we have same company saved these for us, and then we turned it to soup. So again, it's this is a, and again we they don't even keep all of it because they can't. We aren't there yet, but this is almost 500 pounds of prawn heads being turned into food.
Wow. So these are just the heads?
This is just the heads.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, so here we are inside. Hey, you all right?
Yeah, I'm checking on you.
You're checking on me? Okay, good. Here we are in the walk-in. If you look at all these containers here, most restaurants would probably be taking a piece of saran wrap, covering over the top of it, and then every single day you do that. Every single day. Not only does this help out with storage, you can stack, but yes, it is plastic, but reusable containers, and every single thing we do goes into a 1 gallon or a 2 gallon or a 5 gallon, and it just helps us. Literally, we haven't had saran wrap in our kitchen since for probably 3 years. It's always been something. It is just one little thing, but the more you can do something like that, we've somehow never put saran wrap in our trash cans, which has gone into the dump, which is going to be around forever. So something that we're really proud of, and it does take a little more money in the beginning, but in the long run, it's faster, it's easier, it's way easier to organize, and it's just you don't even think about it anymore, which is kind of crazy. What we're doing now is make some soup. So one thing in our kitchen, sort of by default, but we are 100% electric kitchen, so we have no propane. One, it's much cleaner. Two, it's another bill that we don't have to deal with. And three, it's I would say it's better for the environment to be cooking this way. Changes your thought process, but again, when you come in eating Yodelin, you're like, a lot of times some people are like, they serve my food in a metal bowl. We did, and you don't have to love it, but there's one reason why we do this, is because we take the product, we put it in the bowl, we put it on the burner, and we take it out to peel. So we're reducing the amount of dishes that go into our dish machine, which is the amount of water that is used, which is another highlight. But you want to go to our Hollywood, Filipino,
Yodelin sounds great.
Yodelin.
Honestly, don't know the difference.
All right. All right, so
I haven't eaten here enough. Sorry.
all right,
Yodelin it is.
Some Yodelins. They just kind of run you down the line of, you know.
That's so neat. I never realized that it was in the same bowl the entire time.
In the same bowl the entire time. You know, and I have to say, I have to give this sort of system is probably credited to Subway. Well, you know, they're smart, you know, when it comes to making money, and you know, there's no reason to learn something from everybody. I never worked at Subway, but I have been there a couple times, and you see how they do have a very efficient way of making your food. So this is halibut bone broth. So this is made out of halibut bones. We turned into a finished product. This is the Salish Sea. You know, then we have here, this is the Chipino broth right here that, you know, those prawn heads came from, Hama Hama clams. This is our salmon miso bone broth. This is our organic tomato soup that all the kids love. And then we have our beautiful Hollywood, which is, you know, carrot juice, coconut milk, and lots of ginger. So you get 2 scoops of this, and then I just slow throw it down there.
So when you're saying the customer is like, oh, we got our bowls and they were metal, and how has the customer response been in general? I know that you do a lot of good marketing to let people know your sustainable practices. Has there been feedback or people?
Most people don't have a problem with it. You get people who just they just don't get it, and they'll let you know on Yelp. That's okay. That's just part of owning a restaurant. I want you to see why we're doing this. It really makes a lot of sense. Again, another thing that is crazy is that we don't ever have anything broken. That's why we have metal cups. We have metal bowls, metal pans, and again, we don't ever hear the waiter station that happen to tip over and have thousands of things broken. So we do have pint glasses that break. That's really the only thing that's break in our everyday use of utensils, plates, and all that stuff. So again, it's a money thing. I mean, it's we save money because we don't have to buy plates every 6 months because it's just natural paper.
But durability is a huge piece.
And durability, and it's just
Sustainability.
it's just a much easier way of making our lives easier. Yeah. So this seems to take about 3 to 5 minutes.